in the daily valley off this, that's the daily inverse. Same thing we looked at with Oaks. Like literally the same thing. Like one to one, the same move. Like they don't care any way you spin it. Like one to one, this is like literally the exact same thing MDA is about to do. This is the exact same thing Oaks did. Inverse valley to the inverse level based on the global trend that broke the local move that's attacking a legacy trend. And again, this is a 5-minute move. So there's more stuff going on up here with trends, but you see how quickly we reverse engineered this move on a random coin through just backstepping through charts. Quite incredible, isn't it? Trends are, when you really truly understand trend, it's like this moment that happens, and it's like, but start here like this. Again, today is going to be very much, I'm throwing on as much information as I can, and a lot of it will be scattered, but just again, remember that we go back to this tomorrow. So if you're not quite following, trust me, this is not easy to follow. If you're not quite following here, it's okay. Just get the bits and pieces so that tomorrow when we redo this again, it can be like, okay, now it makes sense, you know? So this is quickly reversible and a reverse engineered, come on. This is quickly a reverse engineered move on QLC that shows how insane trends actually are, and how specific this stuff gets, and how exact to the point. Like you're talking about within 1% of your move by breaking local trend that showed you this kind of immediate interjection point. So you're talking about a 40% move that was within 1% accuracy. That's or 37% or whatever this is. However you want to define this, I don't care. It doesn't matter. 41%, 30%, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Point being is that within 1%, you sold the top basically. So when you can start, like the key takeaway to this is that understand that trends, they connect like a fork, right? They connect like chain lightning. You have a trend here. You have a trend that will fall off of that, and a trend that will fall off of that, giving you local, global. Oh, that's a 6, not a G. Jesus, yikes. Global and legacy. There's 2 L's. Okay, what's the LOC? Local, global, not a 6, and legacy. LE. We're not going to put leg because then that's a leg of a move, right? So when you are looking at trends, they connect like chain lightning. It is one that connects to another, that connects to another, that connects to another. So a really important takeaway is if you have a trend that is like this, that is not connected to anything, it's not real, it doesn't exist, it's not there, it will do you very wrong. Your trends connect. Because if you're looking for a buy opportunity, you want to connect distribution candles to distribution candles. So it's easy to reverse where a move can go if you start in the moment and work your way back. But you can't do that if you're looking to catch a falling knife on a trend, because you will not be, it will have already happened. So, and then on the backside, when you start looking at trend on the backside, connecting distribution candles to distribution candles, you see, there's a reason why this stuff is, it moves in a very specific way, guys. This is no coincidence that a falling knife is the level where it is. This is, like, what are we talking about here? One sat? 372, 371. We're talking about 1 sat difference here. And remember, the obligation is to kiss this once. That's why you never sell. If you have bought here, you never sell this, because if you have 3 Bitcoin you're trying to sell here, good luck, because it could just, its only obligation, if that is the truth, is to just kiss it and move down. This is why people get so messed up on coins like BTT, NPXS, MFT, these low sat coins, because the obligation in this moment is to touch here. The obligation in this moment is to touch here. It doesn't have an obligation past that. So on a coin like BTT, where the obligation is 1 sat is 8%, all it's going to do, like you'll see 90% of distribution. If this is the level to be hit, 95% of distribution will happen right here, because the obligation gets fulfilled, because the walls are held up, like the big 30 and 40 Bitcoin walls, or in BTT's case, the big 1,000 Bitcoin walls get held until they can distribute 90% here, which is kind of like a hidden distribution in a sense, because you have to see the level that's going to get hit, and then you have to sell 1 sat under it in these big walled low sat coins. It happens all the time. You can see it in the moment happen. So this is kind of disgusting. And I know you guys have seen it. You're like, oh, look at the amount of distribution. Why is that happening? The leg is there. All of a sudden, boom, the leg gets kissed and it moves down and it's gone. It's gone down like 2-3 sats within minutes. Because it happens so quick. right? You could have been an absolute sicko if you simply just drew trend bottom to trend bottom. This distribution candle, again, accumulation on top, right? Up here, it's accumulation to accumulation, right? It's accumulation candle to accumulation candle, which actually now, as we reverse engineer the move, this is funny because this is actually becoming the orange level here, which is just the next part to this piece that we reverse engineered. Yeah, this is good enough to consider. This it's one sat away. Don't get too nitty on it because this will happen sometimes if the level is supposed to touch here and there's a massive amount of distribution happens if it's within like a 0.5% or something. Like don't get too nitty. Don't be like, oh, it didn't touch, so it's wrong. Like you can consider this a touch. That's, you know, it looks like a touch to me, right? So, but then that just becomes the next trend. It will go and back test. And you know, same thing. Like you could have only caught this if you had gone distribution bottom to distribution bottom, right? A little bit here. There we go. Yeah, fractally, you actually did hit 371 on the nose. So the accuracy is impeccable. You actually hit it like it actually didn't miss. Like it was exact, and that was the bottom of the coin's range. So the accuracy is impeccable. Trend lines are magic. They are the magic on charts. There is no doubt about this in my mind that they are the magic on your charts. Distribution candles to distribution candles on the backside when you are looking to catch a falling knife. If it's not a level, it's you know, and that's another thing I want to talk about here. People commonly ask me, how do you see the lows when you're at an all-time low? And they're like, well, you could just use Fibonacci. No, you just have to use trend lines. Trend lines will show you like accuracy to the T, like literally to the sat. So people think it's you know, it's Fibonacci, but it's or if you know, fib lines, but it's not. It's trend. It's this is where moves get caught in all-time lows, and this is where they move to an all-time highs. Just like when I showed BNB coin on one of the streams or something, and I showed it wicking the exact top of a trend. That it's why it wicked that trend was because of a trend line, right? So the bottom side is, remember, distribution to distribution is an important factor here, and accumulation to accumulation is another important factor here with these candles. You see how I've used this candle here. This one right here, you kind of can't see it, but you see how I've connected this accumulation candle. Now the trend might connect to here, and this might be on a daily. This might be an accumulation candle. I'm not sure, but I am connecting the accumulation side to the accumulation side, right? Like accumulation candles to accumulation candles. Right there, accumulation to accumulation down here. That's what I did because I had it marked here, and then that was that swing break, and then I had it marked here, and then I just moved the base point up here. But you see how it's accumulation to accumulation candle? Very, very important. It's really important to spend a little bit of extra time talking about the proper candles here. I guess I already have something on TNB charted. This would have been the local part of the move right here. And it's actually breaking over. This would be the global level in the current. This would have been a legacy level back then. So this would have kind of been the, you break this trend, that's kind of the finale point to it, which still ends up being true. But once you're past this, now this is going to be green. This was the local break to attack this part of the move here, which is your lovely blue guy. You have this one right here. You also have this one right here. You are most likely going to do something like this. Come, attack this level, pull back, and then this is going to happen. Right, so now you're going to break this green to attack that daily, which creates your blue, right? So the same thing as if you guys remember the accumulation distribution cycles. These aren't connected, that won't work. That would be like that, right? Because this would have to actually be off of this locally. So wherever this swings up to, then it's going to create some local move to go back attack like that. So this will always be connected to this trend. right? Then you're going to come and you're going to attack this here. And the point being is that this blue will always then, once it's broken, turn to the local part of the move, right? Like that's the local part. This will then become the global event that needs to break. And this will be the local event off that distribution, right? So if this kind of comes down like this, oops, we need the pen here. This comes down like this, and it's going to, retrace off that to hit some hold level back here, right? The hold level back here to break that and slingshot up to the next level. So this green and blue line will constantly adapt. You will constantly have new local parts of the move, and the local is local to that part, the local is local to this piece, and just like the local was local to this to fuel that part of the move up against the global. So the distribution cycles that we look at, right? You look at this distribution cycle as trying to hold a hold level, right? And in this case, it's trend. So it's holding trend to come back up and move against this, which is going to create that swing here, right? So you are breaking trend, right? So realize that you do have trend like this, which is going to be green, right? So you are trying to break a distribution cycle here. All you've done now is further elaborate on how the trends are going to show you more information of the move. So this is still very much the same thing. You have to, at some point, end distribution off of a level, right? Like you have tried to end distribution. I'm just going to pick some hold levels. There would have been one right here. So this is a point where you, there would have been one here. There's one here, right? So you tried to hit this hold level, move through off a 10 distribution. You actually failed down because you couldn't back attack the valley. Then you tried to hold this one here, failed down. Then you even tried to hold this little one right here and failed down. Point being is that in none of these scenarios was this level attacked, right? Every time you hit one of these holds, all you did was hit the inverse and fall down on the move, right? So in the grand scheme of things, you are trying to break a distribution cycle, right? Like in either case here. So let's get rid of this to clear it up. Like you are still trying to break a distribution cycle by back attacking valleys.
Hey everyone, how's it going? As you know, I'm now giving out some of this content for free that I was otherwise charging for the past little while. Yeah, drop a donation, subscribe to the channel, join Patreon. You'll get access to Discord. Great way. Lots of top level traders in there, people who are doing this for a career every single day. So go to Patreon, join a tier, get access to Discord. Go on Reddit, talk about future of trading, talk about the science of trading, talk about cotton candy, socials, everything you can. Let's help this thing grow. It's the way you guys can thank me for giving out this content for free that I was otherwise charging money for. So I'll leave a Bitcoin address on the screen. I'll leave the Patreon address on the screen. Just do something to help out. Okay, thanks guys. Take care.